In an era where digital communication forms the backbone of commercial and societal interaction, the challenge no longer lies in crafting compelling content, but in ensuring that such content traverses the labyrinthine defenses of mailbox providers and successfully lands in the recipient's primary inbox. The science of deliverability by 2026 has matured into an intricate field governed by technical protocols, reputation economics, data-driven domain management, feedback loops, and emerging standards of visual authentication. The technical foundation of email deliverability is established through three core protocols: SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. SPF operates as an explicit sender registry, akin to a border control list, where domains publicly declare the internet servers authorized to send on their behalf. The forensic rigor of DKIM appends a cryptographic signature, detectable only by the corresponding public key in the DNS, offering cryptographic assurance that every byte in the message remains unmodified from sender to recipient. DMARC, the governing framework, binds SPF and DKIM, instructing receiving servers with codified rules on how to treat failed authentications. A universal reject policy, now ubiquitous, marks not merely compliance, but the barest threshold for brand legitimacy, as anything less is flagged for heightened scrutiny or outright rejection by advanced machine learning threat models at MVPs like Google and Apple. Beneath this authentication layer lies the engine of sender reputation. Far removed from the era of static reputation tied solely to IP addresses, modern email ecosystems leverage deep behavioral telemetry, basing sender trustworthiness on a dynamic history of engagement and compliance. Negative signals, spam reports, bounce rates, and decoy spam trap activations extract a heavy penalty, sometimes relegating a domain to the digital equivalent of exile. Conversely, demonstrable positive engagement, evidenced by opens, replies, or user-driven reclassification from promotions to primary tabs, incrementally rehabilitates reputation. The fluidity of this reputation system means that a brief lapse, such as a single misconfigured campaign, can precipitate a long recovery period. Constant surveillance through tools like Smart Network Data Services, SNDS, is mandatory for any entity reliant on high-stakes email communication. The transition to scaled sending, particularly when onboarding new domains or IP addresses, mandates a meticulous domain warming regimen. Contrary to intuition, sending an immediate surge of email is interpreted as suspicious. Instead, reputable senders gradually scale by first engaging the most responsive and loyal segments, thereby generating behavioral proof to the MVPs. This staged trust-building mirrors a probation period, allowing MVPs artificial intelligence to model expected sender behavior before forgiving higher volumes, akin to earning one's license through consistent local driving before venturing onto the highway. Inevitably, the system reveals points of failure. Diagnosing these necessitates granular header analysis and harnessing feedback loops. These FBL mechanisms act as user-driven telemetry, feeding back real-world signals about deliverability health at the individual recipient level. Parsing technical headers pinpoints the nature of bounces, distinguishing between transient obstacles and structural faults in address hygiene. The diligence underlying continual list maintenance, pruning non-responsive addresses, excising habitual non-engagers, preempts degradation of sender reputation, acting as the immune system of deliverability science. The vanguard of trust, however, is set by BEAMI. By 2026, the ability to display a certified brand logo directly in the inbox, implemented with stringent controls, including a verified mark certificate and Loctite mark policy, transforms the inbox into an environment optimized for instant trust. The psychological assurance of seeing a brand's verified identity before even reading the subject line translates into measurable gains in engagement. The adoption of BEAMI signals a final convergence of technical rigor, brand stewardship, and user empowerment, fortifying email as the most resilient long-form communication channel amidst a landscape of ever-evolving threats. In summary, mastering inbox placement is no longer a consequence of creative acumen, but a consequence of technical discipline, perpetual monitoring, and adaptive engagement strategies. As MBPs advance with ever more nuanced signals and AI-powered analysis, the future of email depends on the precision and veracity with which senders implement these scientific foundations and continually refine their practices.